If you want them, you can have them. They're coupons.
Because there's buy one, get one free pizzas on the day.
Yeah. So we are, where are we?
2001?
Number 15, 2015, Call of Cthulhu.
I did too, but
I like Papa John's.
I did too.
It's spicy, I like it.
But I mean, I've actually started preferring Domino's more. So.
I haven't had Domino's in years, actually.
Oh, you should.
I know. We always get Little Caesars on Sunday nights after Mom and Dad come home from church.
I'll say Domino's cares more about us college kids.
Why?
They were going to sell us these cards for 25 cents if you were an ASU student. That every time you bought a pizza, you got a free one. But it only worked 10 times. But for a quarter?
Wow, that's a deal. Yeah, that's an awesome deal.
And then he said you can resell them for whatever you want.
Oh, is that what they were talking about, the $10 thing?
Yeah.
$10 footlongs. Oh, did you buy a car?
No, she did.
I mean, a bike? I'm sorry, a bicycle? Or do you just take like, trolleys?
Mostly trolleys, but
okay.
I'm thinking bike as well. And the one bike I was looking at was it was $25.67.
So $25. Mark off $25 from your savings, then you have a bicycle. Okay, so there's been a lot of news the last week, but none of the house, the kidnapped house, has been paying attention to it.
Right.
Because they've been busy trying to learn spells downstairs.
Even though those neighbors saw me. Right.
Neighbors. Oh, the guy. Yeah, those guys. Yeah.
They just believe her. Though.
That guy showed up actually one day and talked to her, and she was like, "You don't know what's going on." So, blah, blah, blah. And he's all got a crush on her and crap. So he's like, "Okay."
Okay.
Caitlin. What?
Are we still at the old man's house? No, I'm home.
We're at Natasha's.
You went home. Yeah. He's at Natasha's house. You went home the first day. You were all freaking out about the whole. You just kidnapped some kid, and it was kind of freaking you out. Shot up the house. Cops are everywhere. You went back home, cleaned up. Natasha lent you a coat to cover your clothes with because she was really paranoid about somebody recognizing you. Yeah. So because you had driven over to her house, you drove Miss Hager home, and then you went home from there. And the rest of the week's been quiet, except did you see some of these newspaper articles that you have seen? Did you look at them? Are you going to look at them? You don't want to look at them? Do you have a subscription to the paper? Or do you get a paper? Or do you listen to your radio? Okay. So these are the articles that you would notice. The smaller ones have taken place during the week. There was a big one. Where'd that big one go? Here's another big one. There should be another like Quincy, Washington and his murder gang article. Nope, no table tricks.
Why do they think there's a gang?
Because remember, what's his name? Fragan claimed that a bunch of men came in and like busted you out.
Okay.
And so they started calling it the Quincy, Washington gang.
Of course.
Because you're the only name they had. These are little articles in the backs of the papers that are more like human interest stories almost than anything else.
So the Kennedy house was broken into?
The what?
The Kennedy house was broken into?
When you check the address, that's not her address.
Oh, okay.
Which is weird. But then you also notice this one from the next day, which jumps out at you. And then this one is on, this one hasn't happened yet. Sorry, this hasn't been put in the paper yet.
Well.
And there was another one about Quincy, Washington in this gang, and I don't know what happened to it.
I'm just like, what? Another Kennedy? What?
Yeah, it's weird. Seems kind of weird, huh?
Mitchell, and whatever. Kennedys everywhere.
And then this one was Thursday morning, the big one, the $10,000 reward one.
Turn me in.
So, that you find Thursday morning. We're starting on Thursday morning, I believe it's the 10th. What's the date on the second page there at the bottom, Kyle?
The second page? Yeah. June 10th.
June 10th. So it's Thursday, June 10th. And the police had cordoned off Providence. They put roadblocks on all the roads in and out of town. They were searching the train stations. They were checking freight trains. All this has been in the news. I can't find that on your freaking article.
They straight say I did it.
Hey, look under your character sheet. That didn't get tucked in there. Yes, it did. Thank God.
A group of women led by Quincy, Washington.
That's the newspaper that they bring up to you. This one was last Thursday. You would have probably read that, too.
Okay.
About this Negro who, with this apparently gang of women who attacked a house and kidnapped a young heiress of a dead family.
Scandalous.
Yeah, it's terribly scandalous. And then tore off in a Cadillac and got torn up in their escape. And for the last week, cops have been going occasionally door to door They've had civilians who've been called in, deputized, and sent to search like abandoned areas of town, like warehouses and stuff nobody uses anymore. It's been kind of crazy. You've never seen so many cops in town before when you've been just going around town. State police are involved. Motorcycles go up and down the streets occasionally. The local sheriff's office has deputies out. It's just everybody has been mobilized trying to find this. Think of it as like the Lindbergh baby when the Lindbergh baby was kidnapped. The whole country went crazy. But then you notice these other 2 articles about all these Kennedy places getting burglarized. One by children. Something's been happening. What do you want to do about it?
My character's like, what am I going to do?
I don't know. What do you want to do about it? Anything? You've kind of you've kind of given them some space because you didn't figure that. I'm gonna say that you probably are figuring that they were gonna get caught pretty quick.
Yeah. Plus, I'm like,
but there's been
shoots at the house.
Yeah, but there's been no word back from them since last week. So what do you want to do, Katelyn?
Thinking, should I get involved? Do they know me? Do they have any descriptions?
You're an accomplice. You're an accessory.
No, I mean, like, do they have any descriptions? Can I just be like, oh, yeah, that's me?
Of the women?
Yeah.
No. They didn't have. They've had no description of any of the women except for like
black or brown hair.
Yeah, black or brown hair. That's all they really had. You guys were like a freaking tornado. You hit that house really fast and you were gone. Like in a minute, you were out of the house once it all started to hit the fan.
Yeah.
They have a description of Quincy, Washington because they have police reports on him.
My dad's in my car.
Okay, so you think you're pretty much safe. The only ones you might be worried about were you did get a good look at those 2 little tiny Chinamen in the hall, and they probably got a good look at you. But that's probably it.
I mean, I didn't really turn around to shoot either. They got the back of me.
True. Well, it's hard to tell.
Just call one of
You
those
don't know
black
for
hair.
certain. You do not know for certain. Yeah. So what do you want to do? I'm trying to get you to actually go over to the Kennedy house.
Yeah, no, I want to, but I'm like, realistically, I probably wouldn't, but
Well,
for the game, let's
If you don't have to. If you don't want to, you don't have to.
For the game.
Okay. You can take some muscle with you?
Hello. Okay. Call you up. I need you.
Oh, do you have a telephone?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a telephone.
You have a telephone, party line. So it's a party line, so
Pretty sure.
you have to know the correct ring.
Okay.
Because everybody has a party line right now. And there's no dials on these phones.
Mhm.
You have to go through operators for everything right now.
Okay.
That's kind of the era.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna check out the space. You wanna come with me to these Mitchell houses?
Mitchell houses.
Or not Mitchell shit. Kennedy houses. What's in it for me? Well, I mean, there has to be some sort of reason for me to want to do this because.
No, play your character however you want.
Yeah. So what's in it for me? Why would I want to do this? I'm looking for money, so that could be a big influence. I don't want to be so much in the public eye because of. Problematic. Because I'm already kind of well known, and I wouldn't want to slander like my name to be messed up. So it depends.
Does she know what your profession is? Or do you just know each other socially and it's never really come up? It's up to you.
Okay, so how do you know me? I just assume we talk.
You know each other socially. There was
She doesn't know anything personal about me though.
Okay, so
she knows me as someone who does, like, I'm well known enough, so she is like, okay, you're a boxer.
Okay.
So that's kind of cool.
And you ran into him at the grocery.
It's like an odd place.
You were at a grocery store. You wanted to get groceries before you got on the trolley and went home that one night. For whatever reason, you stopped and you bumped into each other. You recognized him, and you were like, and you don't know much about boxing, but you had a boyfriend. About how long have you been in the city?
This particular city?
Yeah.
Probably about a year. So it's not. So it's pretty.
Have you done boxing in Providence?
A little bit here and there, like bi-weekly.
Okay. So you had a boyfriend for a few weeks, like 5 months ago, and this guy was you dated him because you thought you could fix him.
Oh, I'm that kind of woman.
No, but this guy was like amazingly good looking. Okay, like rugged good looks, but dumb as a box of rocks. Okay.
Okay.
But you're like, maybe I'm judging too harshly. And on the first date, he takes you to this awful, awful boxing match. The cigarette smoke was so thick you could barely see the ring. There were people drinking there. A lot of illegal gambling was obviously going on. The place stank. This was one of the venues that you did when you first got to the city. And yeah, it was a sleazy small venue, and it was terrible. You had the worst night. You couldn't get him to leave because he was like, "Oh yeah, it'll be over any minute now. It'll be over any minute now." And and back then boxing would last could outlast hours. And so you were there for like an hour for this boxing match, and every time you tried to leave, you'd be like, "Come on, no, it's almost over," and all that kind of thing. But you recognized him from that. You only went on one date with this guy, and you were just like, "Nah, this is not worth it." Unless you wanted to keep dating him. That's up to you. Okay. So it was terrible. People make mistakes. And that's why you recognized him from several months before. The two of you got in a conversation. He's really likable, real just affable, just like
cool.
Wow,
I'm very cool.
I could talk to this person, yeah. And so you kind of hit it off, and you've kind of been like pseudo friends ever since. It's not like you hang out every week or go to lunch every day or anything like that. But you know him. You have had lunch with him a couple times, or you've met for. What do people do in their 20s?
Nothing.
Hello, my lady.
There might have been like a social or something, or a dance hall or something that you went to. Not as a couple, but you might have met there because you both had nothing to do that night. And it's good to have him around because you can go out on the city and do stuff, and you're going to be safe. And he's never made a move on you, right? Well, you got a girlfriend. He's never made a move on you, and his girlfriend. Have you told her that you have a girlfriend? Has it come up at all? I mean,
slightly, but it wasn't like it. I implied that I was in a relationship.
Okay, so, and apparently his girlfriend doesn't seem to mind that he hangs out with you once in a while. Maybe they're that good of a relationship. Whatever. You're a psychiatrist, a psychologist. So it's just somebody that you know that you know.
You know that you know.
But you always feel safe with him, as far as like you don't feel like you're going to be threatened by him, and if someone else tries to threaten you, you figure he's a boxer, he will kick their asses. So
yeah,
win-win.
Okay. I can't think of a good reason for me to even want to go, but otherwise it's
okay. Well, here I'll help you out. So your phone rings before you make the phone call to her.
Okay.
Ring, ring. It's Miss Kennedy.
Oh, it's me.
She says, I got to leave the house. Miss Malone wants to get back to her apartment, and she can't ride on her motorcycle because her injury to her foot. You remember at the range, and she got shot in the foot. Remember, there's blood everywhere. It was awful. And so she says, can you come over to the house for a little while? I don't want Quincy to be here by himself. Or I don't want him to be here by himself, is what she says. So, there we go.
So now I can just go.
So I can drag you. I'm dragging you in and making it easier for her. Yes. She asks if you'll do that as a personal favor.
I'm like, hey.
And she says, thank you. Oh, thank you. We'll wait here till you get here.
I have nothing better to do.
You can keep that coat and the chains up.
Okay.
So then you can call him if you so desire.
For what reason? If I'm just going to babysit.
Okay, well, you don't have to. It might take a little longer to get you into this one, Hannah, but we'll get you in there. Walking down the street and hear a scream. Oh, to save you. So what are you doing?
Just babysitting, I guess.
So you're gonna go over to Kennedy's house?
Yeah.
Okay. She thanks you when you get there. She has a little vial and a syringe, and she says this has to be administered to Lily every 5 hours. It's barbiturate to keep her unconscious. You've had her sedated for the last week.
That doesn't sound good. Did she ate it all?
We have a feeding tube up there that we've been using. And in this era, a feeding tube is like just a tube that you shove down the throat and then you pour the food like mashed up or.
And does she breathe it?
No, it goes down like a feeding tube, like the one that goes through your nose for feeding tubes now.
Yeah.
It's not like a giant tube. It's like a thin tube, and then you like liquefy the food and can pour it down there. Lily might need change. We've had to put her in some diapers because she's unconscious. We're afraid to wake her up because we don't know what she can do. Because we're trying to learn a spell that will allow us to like keep her numbed without using the barbiturates. But we still. But we still have a few days left on these barbiturates. So, and she tells you to give her the next one around noon. Because this will be the morning. And then she says, I'm going to take Miss Malone, and we'll be back I'll be back as soon as I get back. I'm going to leave Miss Malone, I'm going to leave Charlie's car, motorcycle in the garage. And then she heads out in her little red roadster.
So am I the only one there?
No, you heard somebody talking downstairs.
No, I know, but like, other than her.
You're in the attic. You've been in the attic. It's like 100 degrees in this attic because there's one tiny little window on one side, and that's it.
So it's just me, him, and Lily.
Yes.
Okay.
And you've been sleeping in the attic by Lily. You have a table leg that you found because there's a table like this one has been taken apart, and the legs were sitting there. And at one point they're like, "We think there's a shadow in the house," and you're like, and you picked it up and you're like, "You got to get to me," or some bullshit like that. Then they never mentioned it again to you, so you're not sure what's going on with that.
Okay.
And you've been with Lily. They've been keeping her sedated, and they have been feeding her with a feeding tube every day. And they allegedly have been learning spells, is what they told you. And she tells you that Quincy's up in the attic, and you don't have to go in the basement. No, you don't have to go in the basement at all.
That makes me want to go there.
Well, that's fine. So anyway, then she leaves you in this giant house by yourself. Well, except for with Quincy. Anything you want to do?
Is Lily in the attic too?
Yes, yeah, she would have told you that too. Lily's up there
I'll
with
just
Quincy.
go up there and just hang out.
It's really
I'm
hot.
kind of weirded out by this needle that I have in my hand.
It's really hot in the attic. They've been administering these drugs to Lily every day to keep her unconscious.
It's really hot. Why do they have that? Open a window.
The window's open, but it's June,
Gross.
and there's no other windows in the whole place.
She's burning up.
Yeah, it's hot. She's sweaty.
June's the worst.
So what are you guys doing? You can talk. What are you looking?
Sitting there. I don't know what to ask. What to say.
I'm asleep.
Okay. You can make a listen check to see if you wake up. Okay.
I'll do it.
Here's the house.
And I will hear it. Yes, I heard it.
Okay. You wake up and you see this woman come up the steps.
You know me.
That's what you say. You know
You say that as well.
No.
Okay.
I want to.
You're right now,
I heard her and I'm awake, but I'm pretending to be asleep.
Okay. You do that. He's asleep, apparently.
Oh.
You can make a spot hidden.
You're not asleep.
You should not the corner.
Where'd it go? There it is. Okay. Yeah, that's a 22 out of 50.
Okay. You don't think he's really sleeping. His breathing pattern's not quite right.
Don't forget to mark it off.
I already have it marked for the
Yeah.
last game. So.
Yeah, we're gonna try to finish up this scenario.
Oh, that's right.
Bum, bum, bum.
Nah.
I have to keep looking at her. That's right. I'm like,
So, what do you want to do? Anything?
I feel like. I guess I'm not gonna like. I know he's like listening to me. That's kind of weird. I'm not gonna be like, I know you're awake, but I'm just gonna be like, okay.
Then I get up with a crowbar in my hand.
What?
Well, what do you want to do, Katelyn?
I'm not good at this realistic thing.
When you walk up to the attic, Lily's there, Quincy Washington's there, you think he's faking sleeping. You can say or do anything. You can go call this guy because you don't trust Quincy enough to rape you.
Quincy's.
Hello?
It's a way to get him involved. If you don't feel safe with Quincy, you barely know, but you do know that apparently he was part of a group of women who shot up a house, according to the newspaper.
Has Steve seen the newspaper?
You don't know?
Now you're awake.
There you go. That's the way to handle it.
What do you want?
I'm just here babysitting.
Babysit who? B?
You too. Wow.
Both of us.
Miss Kennedy's wife.
We'll see what the problem is. She's asleep.
Yeah. I have to make sure she stays asleep too.
Nobody trusts me with Lily alone.
Well, would you keep her here?
Can't rightly say.
Can't what?
She said, would I keep her here?
Mhm.
And I said, can't rightly say.
Oh, can't rightly say. I couldn't understand what you said. Sorry.
Can't rightly say.
I guess that's why I'm here.
Ain't good for a girl to be sleeping this long. Thinking about waking her up.
She is really pale and like, you know how your features kind of like are sunken.
I don't really know what's going on with this girl, so I can be like, what do you want me to let her wake up?
Where are the others?
I don't know. It's getting, I think, it was Mason's.
Well, she took Miss Malone home.
Yeah. Is she coming back?
Yeah, she said she'd be back. She didn't know when.
Oh.
She did not know when.
Oh. So yeah, that.
Probably not yet. But soon. If they don't figure out those spells.
How long do you think that'll be?
Already taking too long.
What are these spells? You guys do?
I don't know. They don't let me read the books. I think I can. They're downstairs somewhere. I'm sure you can find them if you want it.
Basement.
I don't know. They don't tell me nothing.
No, she told me not to look at this place.
That's where I'd look.
I don't look in the basement.
I'll be here.
What do you want to do? Are you going down to the basement?
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
Let's do this.
Maybe straight up a little, see if Miss Kennedy locks the basement door. It's a 50-50. Low means it's locked. It's not locked. It's really dark down there. There's no windows apparently, which is kind of weird. But there's a light switch on the wall, and you flick it, and lights come on. You go down the steps. There is a distillery down there. It looks like a gin operation is underway. There are empty bottles and full bottles. There are boxes full of corks. Gin's it's illegal to distribute and transport alcohol in Prohibition.
She has this house.
Yeah. So it's a pretty big still too. It doesn't look like it's running right now, but it's connected up to some hoses in a sink, and you're guessing she could put out quite a bit of alcohol if she wanted to. But you don't see any sign in the books. Otherwise, the whole basement's really clean. Like this is all she uses it for.
So nothing.
No, yeah. There's nothing out here. Yeah, you can tell. You look around a little bit, and unless it's like in a box, unless they're stuffed in boxes full of that are marked gin, then they're not down. Like nailed shut boxes that are marked gin obviously made for transport.
Okay.
Then,
I'm just gonna go back upstairs, turn off the lights, pretend like I was there.
Okay, you just close the door and turn the lights off.
All right.
Where do you want to look? Where's the map? Here's the map of the house. You came in this door here, right? The front door. What's going on? You came in this door here, you walked in, she talked to you here, she told you Quincy was upstairs. The steps go all the way up, and then there's a way up to the attic in the back. This looks like, I'm not sure, these are some weird maps. Actually, I think that comes up from the kitchen all the way to the second floor, and I assume it goes on up to the attic. Yeah, the attic's above the you walked in here, and this is like a parlor. This door was closed. You haven't been to the rest of the house. Oh, yes, you have. I don't know, this is terrible maps. This door's closed. This is obviously dining room. You walked basically this way down the steps and back over here to get to the basement. And this is the kitchen at the back. And then there's a back porch here. The garage is over on this side. Where do you want to look?
Her room.
Where's her room? Yeah, exactly. So where are you going to look? Point me out on the map.
Well, I'm trying to look for her room, so it's is the second floor?
That's second floor. And you actually have spent the night in one of those bedrooms up there, huh?
I'm gonna go here.
Okay, yeah, it's a bedroom. Looks like a spare room. Nothing in there.
Alright, here.
Nope. Another spare room.
Here.
Another spare room.
Here.
Another spare room.
Damn it! One upstairs. Here.
That's a library, actually. It's a really nice, like, study/library.
Maybe it's here. Alright, I'm looking for a desk or something that she could.
There's a bunch of books here.
Yeah.
There's a lot of books here.
I would think it's more on the open that she just got.
You don't see anything on the desk. That's either.
Okay. Can I like kind of look over the books?
Yeah, most of them are nice leather-bound books. You don't see any like the ones that came out of that basement.
Okay, now go here.
That's a sitting room and a parlor. And on one of the tables is a pile of books.
Okay.
Old moldy, nasty books.
I'm gonna look through them. Are these the ones?
Yes, those are the ones you got out of the basement.
Ah.
Looks like some pages have been torn out.
Oh. Alright.
Hard to tell when.
I'm gonna take these books
There's 5 of
and
them.
bring them up to him and
Okay,
see,
she comes up with 5 old books.
Find them.
I guess. Does
Yes.
it look like it? I don't know which one has the spell in it.
Get a lot of stairwalking if you just guess them.
That's okay. You want to read it? Let's read it.
I guess I can open one of these.
I'll just grab a random one.
The one on top is missing pages in the front, but it's a diary of Arthur Mitchell. But back from 1778, when this one starts, about him leaving Providence.
Yeah, I know what most of is in these
Okay.
books.
And
So I'll just say I just start reading.
these are where the spells actually are. Most of them are in this book.
Okay.
Right at the very beginning. Okay. Okay. So you're just gonna read spells.
Yeah, I guess this is probably the right book. What do you got?
What do I have the next book?
Yeah, you can have the next one. It's another section from over 100 years ago.
I'm like, did I read that one before? So now I read something and it
I don't
lost
remember.
9 sanity points from it. I think it was records for like the
You had the medical. You still have those at your apartment.
yeah.
Those are those horrible medical records that you found in the same place.
They make you cry.
And go fucking crazy.
I'm just like, it's crazy.
Yeah, they were horrible and illustrated, which was even worse.
I'm just like,
And pop-up.
Not pop-up, but there was blood on a lot of the pages. Like you could tell, you know how if you had
Yeah.
bloody hands and you wanted to write something and you smear blood all over? Yeah, that's how it looked to you. It was terrifying.
I'm just like,
Awful. So yeah, you haven't read any of these books. These appear to be journals. There is some kind of mention of some of the terrible things that this guy's done, but not as graphic detail as what you've already read. So,
I'm probably not really good.
yeah, but you're finding spells, Kyle. It's like a whole batch of spells towards the beginning, allegedly. It's going to take a while to probably learn them, though, if you want to go that route.
Can you tell me what they remotely do?
Yeah.
Which one are the ones that they're originally wearing? I wasn't there.
They never told you.
Yeah.
No, they haven't told anybody, actually. They might have mentioned it to Quincy that they had one that would enthrall her, so she would be like, they wouldn't have to use the drugs anymore. They're worried about... They would have probably told you that they're worried about Lily. If she can cast spells, what she would do if she wakes up.
Did you find that one still?
Which one?
Whatever one that they're trying to use.
Haha. So what you think you've got is that enthrall spell,
Okay.
which will enthrall a person.
Okay.
A spell that will keep knives and bullets from piercing the flesh. A spell that will allow you to have a massive cannibalistic feast in order to youthen yourself. Another spell that will allow you to drain power from people, and another that will allow you to actually literally just simply steal the life from someone and give it to yourself, possibly even euthanize you. And the last one will actually rack a person with pain and terror, send them to their knees. Is kind of how it's described. Indeed.
So, like, the one that takes the power from somebody?
Yeah.
Does it go into detail about what that is?
It's hard to follow, it's hard to read because it's like disjointed, like the guy knew what he was talking about but really wasn't interested in anybody else learning.
Okay.
So it's going to take a few hours to like decipher it. You're not going to learn this spell, but you get the bare bones of it.
Yeah, I think I found the spells.
Oh.
There's quite a few.
It's supposed to actually drain magic power from its target. And then
Are these spells on different pages?
yeah, they're all split up, and it's not like a spell is on one page. It's like several pages full of it. You just ripping out all the spells. Okay. You gonna put them in piles per spell?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay, you can do that. Like I said, it takes a few hours.
You're gonna be so mad with this tower piece of them.
There's already pages missing from that same section.
Oh, they are.
Completely gone. You have no idea where they could be.
I think people are crazy.
And it's like 10 pages are missing, it looks like, as best you can guess. So yeah, you think you've got like these, you've got them separated out into these things, pulled out from the spell book.
I'll take this one so we don't have to keep her asleep anymore. You can pick one of these.
Which one? The power one?
No, the enthrall.
Okay.
That's what I'm looking at.
The power one, right?
Okay, the power train. Okay, do me an idea check. 79 out of 75. Okay.
I have no idea.
No, you're busy. You're like, oh, magic.
Oh, yeah. Almost had an idea.
But you didn't.
No.
So this was just to see if you remember something.
So you said the others left?
For now.
Yeah, it was a few hours ago. Because you guys have been looking through these, trying to figure out these spells. You've been ripping them out. You've been looking. So it's probably 1 or 2 in the afternoon.
We've got more spells than we have eyes. Do you have someone that could help us?
I can help somebody, but let me administer this